Now, I've had my PS3 account since the first week of the PlayStation 3's release, which feels like a lifetime ago. And it's safe to say that my trophy completion list is, well...
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the f—
Let's just say it's an utter mess. A digital graveyard of completely unfinished games and neglected platinums. So I've set myself a task to finally clean up that dumpster fire that is my trophy list. This is about fixing those percentages, enjoying some games that I had probably forgotten about, and if I pick up a few nice shiny platinums on the way, then it's an absolute bonus. Now, I am hoping to get it to around 75%, but this is hopefully one video in many that's due to come out. So come with me while I clean up my trophy list. The Saints Row series started out as an unloved stepchild to the Grand Theft Auto series, never quite getting the recognition it deserved. It really found its feet and its own distinct vibe as to what it wanted to be. And what it wanted to be is sheer, glorious, unbelievable chaos. From wacky quests to an eclectic mix of weapons that defy logic. It branched out to become its own unique, bombastic game. Now, as time went on, the series arguably went a little too far with the absurdity and lost its original charm. But this game, Saints Row the Third, right here is where it truly started to peak and became the benchmark for the open world silliness it was known for. Now, we played this when it first came out and we got our last trophy back in September of 2013. Why I stopped and never got the platinum, I don't know. I can only guess that I wasn't going to get the DLC and mistakenly assumed I needed it for the platinum, which, as it turns out, is obviously the wrong assumption and probably cost me a decade of having this in my trophy cabinet. So what better way to clean up than starting by getting a trophy that perfectly encapsulates the game, that being getting 10 kills with a fart grenade, yes, a jar of farts, as well as 10 kills with, well, you can see. The developers clearly had a very specific sense of humor, and I can get down with that. One thing that was tough, though, was the fact that the game came out before 1080p support was on the PlayStation 3. If you're old enough to remember, it did only have 720. So I was playing on 720p on a 4K monitor through a 1080 converter. Let's just say the picture quality is a little bit rough and the input lag a little bit rougher. The majority of the trophies were trophies that were simple to do, which was taking over the city, which, if you know the Saints Row games, you basically dominate the city, you take out all the gangs. And as we were in the end game from a previous save that I had, it only left me with like 1 or 2 missions in each of the areas. I was about 96% on each of the areas, so it didn't take too long. What did take the longest, though, by far, was the list of 40 challenges. Now, I never paid any attention to them in my first playthrough. Some of them weren't even started, which meant I had to grind each one of them out one by one. Some of them were not even started, which meant I had to grind them out one by one. Doing these got me a bunch of other trophies, such as killing 50 brutes, stealing and hijacking all of the car targets and plane targets, killing all of the assassination targets. The challenges themselves were just as weird as the game is, ranging from vehicle surfing on the roof of a moving car to streaking nude along the streets of Steelport, dodging traffic and getting chased down by the police. It really forces you to engage with the insanity of the sandbox world they created. Once those were done, there were a couple of time-related ones to play the game for 30 hours and then play the game for 2 hours as a male and 2 hours as a female. By the time the main challenges were done and were complete, I was about 15 hours in. So I had to resort to the age-old grinding tactic, which was turned off the auto power off on the PlayStation and the controller and went to bed. That left the character standing just in the middle of the safe house and woke up the next day with only a couple of hours left to get those trophies, leaving just one single trophy for the platinum. There are 2 different endings to Act 1. One where you blow up the boss's building and one where you don't. In the first run, I blew it up and the save files I had were all past that point, so I bit the bullet, started a new game, plowed through the opening missions again, saved the building and got the trophy and the platinum. And there we have it, 10 years of procrastination wiped out in one glorious moment. Now, we got the platinum, but not the 100%. As I said earlier, I didn't have the DLCs, so maybe if it lets me, I'll pick it up, and you'll be able to see some more of this game in a future video. This game was one I sunk way too much time in, and that is Call of Duty 2019. Modern Warfare 2019 was something of a soft reboot for the series, bringing back classic characters like Captain Price and introducing new ones like Farah, all running on a a, at the time, new engine. This game was a major return to form for the franchise, featuring gritty, morally ambiguous story that felt fresh while still respecting the original story it's based off of. If you're a veteran to the channel, you'll know I got my content journey started with Call of Duty, and Modern Warfare 2019 was where it began. Now, I was about 40% complete with this game. Thankfully, I had completed the story on veteran mode on my first playthrough, which is always the hardest hurdle to clear. But honestly, the trophies were not what I was playing the game for at the time. I always played the campaigns on veteran difficulty, simply just because I liked the challenge. I had maybe 2 or 3 other trophies besides that, and my save only had the first 3 levels done. The good news is that the trophy list for this is probably the easiest of any Call of Duty that was released before or after. There's no Mile High Club or anything like that, ridiculously hard time trial missions. You just need to do certain aspects in the game. Now, don't get me wrong, a couple of them were awkward, such as Golden Path for completing the mission Clean House without being shot at, and each kill has to be a one-shot kill. On top of that, what made it difficult is they had to be holding the weapon in order for the kill to count, so you cannot be too quick taking them out. It required a sort of perfect timing of them picking them up and being silent, which, if you remember, was one of the focal points for the advertisement in this game as to what it was showcasing, and it is a nice change of pace from the run gun explosions that you get in Call of Duties. And then also there's a similar trophy, and it's called We Own the Night, for killing all of the enemies in the church, the clock tower, and the pool without them calling for backup. The awkward thing for this is that you need to take the right path, and your timing needs to be good in order for them to not be seen by the other enemies, and because if they get seen getting killed, they'll shout for help. It was pretty straightforward, but it also quite annoying. Speaking of annoying and awkward, the worst of them was Circus Tour, and that's for killing one enemy in both subways, the shop Oral Chic and the shop Reading Place in Piccadilly, mainly because one of the subways doesn't naturally have enemies, so you have to try and bait one down before the NPC police officers take him out. Then there are some of the easier ones, especially when you go into the recruit difficulty, like killing 3 soldiers on a ladder. Simple. Thankfully, you don't need to do it on just the one ladder, so that you don't have to wait for people to turn up. Tunnel Rat, which is a section of one of the missions where you need to complete it with just the 1911 pistol and not pick anything else up. And then got Something on Your Face, which is a simple quick time event of spitting in Barkov's face. Honestly, going back, seeing how good this game is graphically, and the gunplay, the story, the cutscenes, it just has me seeing how far Call of Duty has arguably fallen since this high point. This game feels like the most polished Call of Duty we've had in 10 years. Anyway, the last trophy was for using just UAV drone bombs in order to progress to the lab, and with that satisfying ping sound, we have another platinum. Lastly, for this video is a game I remember getting annoyed and stopping the trophy round because of a specific trophy, only to realize years later that I could have actually got it. It was a co-op trophy, and I thought that it required something complicated like 2 consoles or 2 separate game copies, but nope, just another controller. A local co-op play was fine, which I will definitely be going back and making sure some of the other games that I've got don't have these types of trophies missing. Again, with this game, the story was already done, and thankfully I had backed up my save. But as anyone who has gotten a Lego Platinum knows before, completing the story is by far a long way off getting the Platinum. These games are a notorious grind. I knew that the last trophy I would get for this was going to be you win a no prize, which is for getting 100% completion. And in order to get that, we need to complete all 15 of the story modes, complete all 15 of the story modes in free play, complete 11 bonus levels, complete 11 bonus levels in free play, obtain a True Believer rank in all story modes and bonus hub levels, collect 150 mini kits hidden in the story levels, collect 250 golden bricks, complete all 50 Stanley in peril situations, unlock and purchase all 153 characters, and unlock and purchase all 40 vehicles. It is truly a staggering amount of collectibles, and it takes longer than it should have, especially with what I did, systematically going through every corner of the New York hub in every free play level in order to find every secret. Now, doing that, some of the trophies I got along the way were for transforming into Hulk 50 times. I just sat there and popped it. Destroying 100 vehicles in the hub free world. Again, you just go around breaking everything, and then getting the True Believers, which is collecting a certain amount of studs in each level. Thankfully, though, the stud multipliers you get with the golden bricks and the Deadpool bricks makes this a whole lot quicker. In buying all the characters, we got Sinister Six for unlocking the Sinister Six villains, Avengers Assembled for unlocking the core Avengers team, Stantastic, which is unlocking Stan Lee in each level. He is somehow hilariously stuck and you need to free him. There are 50 in total, and with that you can get the alter ego for performing all the big transformations such as Venom, Hulk, Kurt Connors into the Lizard, and then obviously Stan Lee into Stan Hulk, and then you get Stan's soapbox for turning into Stan Hulk. This left me with one final agonizing item. I was stuck at 99.9%, and I was searching and could not find where I had gone wrong. I went onto forums and found that if you've used a cheat, then it will lock at 99.9%. And I was hoping to God that I didn't back then when I played it originally. I don't remember doing it. I normally don't because I know that cheats disable trophies. And this is one of the games I actually was trying to get a platinum for. Now, you would think with the sheer amount of things to unlock in these LEGO games, there would be some way of accurately checking to see if you've got everything. But no, I spent another 2 hours painstakingly cross-referencing my in-game list with online guides. And after a lot of faffing, I finally found out what it was. I had missed one single Thor costume that I had unlocked but not purchased. Every time I was looking at the screen and it was flipping, I was missing it. So I buy that one final costume and the platinum finally popped. And there we have it, my overall completion rate is now up by 4%. It doesn't sound like much, but that's some solid progress at least. And honestly, I had a blast going back to some games that I haven't played in a long time, especially booting up the old PS3, a nostalgia trip that was well worth the effort. There will be more videos like this as I have a whole lot of games sat at around 2 to 3% completion, so I think we'll be able to get some major jumps up in the next video. Stay tuned for some more cleanup, and make sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe for more content like this, and let me know if you like it down below in the comments. And until next time, we'll smell you later.